Good morning. Coffee with Chondra coming out of the Heartland. I'm Chondra Rankin. Good morning. I am just enjoying this lovely fall day. It's felt really not like autumn lately. All week it's been like in the mid 70s, or it was actually mid 80s one day, and it is almost the end of October in Iowa, which is strange. But the harvest is still going on, and actually harvest is kind of continual around the world, but it just seems more like it end of October because people harvest things in their gardens. Hey Tracy, woohoo! Good morning, Sarah. Did you see my purple bench yesterday I was sitting on while I ate lunch? It made me think of purple pincushion. Anyway, kind of an ongoing harvest, but this week I have an ongoing harvest theme in everything I'm talking about, and I'm making a different point every day. And today it is that we harvest more than we plant. We harvest more than we plant. Good morning. I hope everybody's enjoying their coffee. I know, Tracy, you're more of a tea person, but Sarah, I think you're a coffee. I know you're a coffee kind of gal. All day. So we harvest more than what is planted, and if this were not the case, people wouldn't plant stuff, because you're not going to plant. I'm going to use the corn analogy because I'm driving by a field of corn right now. You plant one seed of corn, you don't expect to get one seed back. Actually, there are 14 to 18 rows of kernels, the little pieces of corn, and they're about 36 to 44 kernels long. And actually, I learned a new thing last week. Lowell Crumba, he told me every ear of corn has an even number of rows. Yes. So that's interesting. Well, actually, I looked up some stuff about it last night. Most of them do. Typically they do, because there are a ton of different hybrids and all that stuff. Morning, Brian. So anyway, all of, 14, 18 rows, 36 to 44 kernels long. It's about 700 kernels on a row. I can't think yet today. 700 kernels of corn on a cob of corn cob. That's a lot. And I didn't realize, I've grown up here surrounded by corn my whole life. I don't know a lot about it. You get 2 ears of corn per stalk. I did not think that sounded like a lot, but apparently that's how much it is. Occasionally there will be an extra ear of corn. Everybody's learning about corn today. How exciting. We didn't even know. Sometimes you'll get an early maturing ear of corn, like early in the summer or something, but typically a stalk of corn creates 2 ears. So 2 ears times 700. We're also doing math today. It's educational and delicious with coffee. So 1,700 kernels of corn coming from that one that you planted. So that's why we plant things, because you get a lot more back than you plant. And a lot of other plants have a higher percentage of yield than 1 to 1,400, or whatever it happens to be. But every crop has its own. I'm going down a path that I'm going to come back from. I'm going to talk about we harvest more than we plant, and to me, in my mind, planting that 1 kernel of corn and having that 1,400 gained is like the ripple effect. It's like the ripple effect. I'm going to again bring up a story from The Power of Habit, a book that I had been reading. And this was a great analogy for this topic today. If anybody's heard of the company Alcoa, it's a national company. I think there's one here near the vicinity in Iowa, and I've actually been on a plant tour of Alcoa I think it's in Wenatchee, somewhere around central Washington. That was an entire kind of random story, but I'm going to digress here for a moment. I've been on a plant tour there because in college, I dated someone that was, let's see, what was the major? Materials Science and Engineering major. So it was all the materials that people use to make stuff and engineering with all that. So going to Alcoa, which is Aluminum Companies of America, that's what it stands for. That was really interesting to that person. And I happened to know someone that had retired from Alcoa out there. It is, you like my random stories? Oh, I could talk for days. So the person that worked out there was Clark Cronin, which I'm not directly related to him, but actually we shared a birthday. He's no longer, he died several years ago, but it's my uncle's dad, but I know their family very well. So we lined it up with Clark, and he was very accommodating, and so was the plant there, and so we went through some various areas. It was pretty interesting. I've kind of forgotten about that. Had all our PPE on. Safety first, people. I'm on the safety team. Safety first. PSA for today. Anyway, enough about Alcoa. Back in 1987, they were not doing so well. And I won't go into his whole backstory. If you want to read it in The Power of Habit, because it goes pretty in depth. But they contacted a man named Paul O'Neill, and he, was asked to be the CEO of the company, and he, went back and forth. Do I want to do that? He was retired, and he ended up taking on the job. And he was there from 1987 to 2000. He implemented one main strategy. Of course, in his first meeting with the investors, they all want to know, how are you going to make us more money? He didn't lead with, I'm going to make you more money by doing X. His focus was, we're going to make this the safest company in the world. Highest safety record. And the investors were confused. Like, what is he talking about? Is this a joke? And he even pointed out in the room, this is his first meeting in front of them, he pointed out where the fire extinguishers were, where the quickest route of egress was, or exiting the room and building in case there was an emergency. And the investors are like, what is happening? What's going on? Well, he knew there were so many wrong things happening at the company. You couldn't possibly begin to work on all of those at one time, or really the company would probably fall apart. So, hey guys, hey Holly and Aaron, I'm talking about the ripple effect. I'm talking about a story out of The Power of Habit, the CEO of Alcoa. So what his plan was, he wanted Alcoa to be the safest company in the world. And so he just started implementing changes here and there. Everybody's main focus was that, and really it wasn't, it was supported by everyone. It was supported by the people in the factory, because of course they want to go home safely to their families. The managers wanted to support that, because the safer things are, the more money the company makes. So the created all these safety things. Yes. By doing that, it created a ripple effect through the entire company. And like I said, he was the CEO from 1987 to 2000, and in that time, you know that story, Rebecca, is, oh, you know the ripple. Yeah, it's crazy how much of an impact that can have. So by the time Paul O'Neill left as CEO, the company's net income had grown by a factor of 5. Good morning, David. 5 times, which is amazing. So it also became one of the safest companies in the world. So by changing that one thing, you live the ripple effect. We all do, actually, to a point. We just don't always know, obviously, how far-reaching it is. So I thought that story was really interesting. By changing a few things, it rippled through everyone and created huge results. It's the ripple effect. And to me, that's kind of like when you are planting a seed of corn and you get 1,400 kernels. It's far-reaching. And how can you influence a lot of people and like have it grow exponentially? Because 1 to 1,400, and then in Alcoa started with the top, the CEO, and it reached the entire company. And I'm not sure how many people are in that company, but it's a worldwide company. So how do you do that? Is it even possible? Do you even care? Do you care if you reach that many people? One thing I thought was interesting on the corn information, it does not produce as much if the plant is stressed, and that can be from pests or weather. It's external factors. It's not internal like us people are. I'm really good grammatically today. We stop ourselves, but with a plant, they don't sit there and think, I'm not worthy to create 700 kernels of corn on each ear that I'm creating. That sounds crazy. But why is it okay for us to do? It's kind of a food for thought. But stress can cause that productivity to be lessened. So we have to understand what our stresses are. And you know what? If it's a person in your life that's toxic, they're causing you to be held back from what you're supposed to do in life. Sometimes we have to cut people loose. If it's something you're doing to yourself, start changing your habit. And there are a lot of different ways to implement changing your habits. So think about the stresses, internally and external, that might be causing you to not gain that full ripple effect and affect people. Another analogy is one of your smaller body parts is your tongue. It can create a ripple effect, and it can be good or it can be bad. So what kind of ripple effect does that have? Think about all the small actions that can cause a ripple effect. All the actions at Alcoa, each individual might have been a really small change that they did, but together, collectively, it made a huge impact. What's something you can do that creates a large impact? It might be when you start working out, you're like, oh, I need to work out because of, for 2 reasons. I need to lose weight for health, and I need to gain more energy. Those are valid reasons for starting to work out. two things that might happen from that are, well, besides getting healthier and also getting more energy, excuse me, you might start eating healthier foods because you're like, well, I'm spending all this time working out. I might as well have a holistic plan here, eat well and work out. And you start working out and you start not only feeling better, but hey, I kind of look better in the mirror too. So you might start taking a little more time to prepare yourself for the day, because you feel better on the inside and you're like, I want my outside to continue to reflect that as well. And when you feel better and look better, you carry yourself better in public, in front of people, you'll affect them. You might be in a better mood. You go to the grocery store and, I mean, seriously, some days at the grocery store, everyone talks to me. Like, they tell me things that you would not normally tell a stranger. These are people I don't know. I think sometimes I'm in a better mood than others, and when I'm in a good mood, that attracts people to me. And they ask me for my advice on different things they're buying, or where things are, or many, many different things. So you just never know. And you might affect that person's day if you just smile and say hi to them, and that might brighten their day and affect something they're doing, on and on and on and on. It can affect so many different things. So think about all those small things and how you might impact those. One of the things that can impact in a huge way, think about the internet. What you say is out there. You never know who will see that. I talk to people on a daily basis in multiple countries, not just the United States. And that's pretty amazing. We haven't been on this level for too long doing this, having that far reach. And what can you do, the impacts? And right now I have multiple social media platforms, and some of them are a little more automated. So I might have things that I've scheduled to post. Somebody's seeing it. And I didn't do that 5 minutes ago. I did it at one time, and it's just going to keep going. And you don't know what impact that will have on someone. And what's that called? It's called leveraging. You have all that working for you. It's called working harder, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Working smarter, not harder. Wow, okay. So anyway, think about all those things and how you can get things to work for you to impact other people, leverage yourself, and create a good ripple effect. We harvest more than what was planted. That's a fact, whether it's good or bad. So we want that to be sent out, with positive vibes, good impact on everyone. That's just what I was thinking about today. And appreciate seeing all you. Good morning, Jordan. I talked to you for years. Wow. If you liked my video at all, you can like it, share it, or comment. I'm going to be leaving it up on Facebook, but it'll be on my YouTube channel. It's just Chondra Rankin. So it's on there. It's also on my website, the link to YouTube. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate all of you. Have a really great day, and I'll see you in the next video. To get rid of Chloe's message so I can stop the recording. Love you all. Bye.